Hello everyone, welcome back to On The Fly. Today we're going to be taking a look at finally some good news in the international ice hockey world realm, whatever you want to call it, because today it has been announced that we are finally getting some international hockey back in terms of the NHL, starting with the Four Nations Cup, Four Nations Tournament. It hasn't been announced yet what they're going to call it, but I'd assume it's going to be something along those lines, because the four teams that you're looking at, Canada, Finland, Sweden, and the US. Now these four teams, obviously, historic and really solid teams. Obviously of note, no Russia, no Czechs. Czechs have been a team that have really come on strong the last couple of years. So I'm a little bit surprised not to see them. I don't know if they'll make like one of those, world teams, rest of world teams to include everybody else. But yet we have some more international ice hockey in terms with the NHL players. And that is going to be happening in 2025, hosted in Montreal and Boston. And these, obviously, two great hockey places, going to be able to pick that up pretty well. And this is going to be a really good tournament, I think, especially to cover. Be sure to tune in. We'll probably have some pretty good coverage here, too. Just saying, if you want to subscribe, like, all that. But at the same time, this tournament, obviously, it's going to be a good one, so definitely stay tuned. When you have the four nations, Canada, Finland, Sweden, the US, you can never go wrong. But there was one little tweak. Basically every reporter reported this one. The NHLPA and the NHL is going to announce this new tournament. But on Frank Saravalli's post, he decided to put a little bit extra, saying, "Ooh, the NHL players might be returning to the Olympics." That's right, the Olympics. And I mean, sure enough, not maybe 5-10 minutes later, Kevin Weeks jumps on it, says the exact same thing. And all of a sudden, it's really looking good for the NHL players to finally be back to the Olympics to play some hockey. It's been way too long now. Obviously, there's been struggles with contracts and players' associations. But finally, we're going to go back to the best of the best in the Olympics, the spot where everybody comes to play. And let me just say, it is about time. How long have we been waiting now for the NHL players to return to the Olympics, to be able to see the best on the best and not see, the teams that have their own leagues winning this thing, not with the best players in the world, but with the best players in Europe. We're finally going to get the best on the best. We'll finally see some great hockey. 2026 is going to be in Milan, as well as 2030. I don't believe it's been announced yet as where it's going to be, but they'll likely also be with that with the new CBA coming out. So, with that being said, it is a huge day for international hockey. Two big sort of breaking news that have come over the last probably hour or two. But let me just say this, when we're looking at it, I am excited for some international hockey. I'm sure you guys are too. Be sure to let me know down below who you think is going to win this Four Nation Cup, as well as, who you think is going to win the Olympics if NHL players are allowed to go. I'm obviously really hoping that NHL players are allowed to go. I think that'd be a huge step, especially for hockey. Obviously, when the best players go to the Olympics, that's when the most coverage gets reached. And also, there was another thing in there that there's likely no NHL All-Star game next year. I think that's probably a good thing, to be honest. Let's be honest here. The All-Star game isn't what it used to be. People don't really tune in quite like they used to. And it's sort of just become one of those laughingstock things. The draft last night, they tried. I mean, it was good. You could tell it was scripted. But, it's just one of those things, right? It was enjoyable to watch. But at the same time, they're trying to go back to the days of old. But I do think that this international competition with the four nations, I think that's a way better idea. I think a lot more people are going to tune into that. I think the players are going to want to be a part of that a lot more than, say, the All-Star game, where, every player on the team gets picked. It's not really what the All-Star game's about anymore. So to be able to see this, Four Nation Cup, I think whatever you want to call it, Four Nation Cup, Five Nation Cup, whatever it's going to be. If you include the rest of the world in there, I think that might also be a good idea, just to let everyone else come in. But at the same time, Canada, Finland, Sweden, the US are your four teams for the upcoming tournament in 2025. The Olympic players likely to be headed towards in 2026 in Milan, 2030 as well, if that deal gets announced. Probably coming out later today in an announcement. But with that being said, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. If you'd like to drop a like, if you really like it, consider subscribing. Tell all your friends in the comment down below your thoughts on the IIHF news. Until next time.